Mr. Tatoyan, Arman Tatoyan, the former human rights defender of the Republic of Armenia, you've also just recently started a foundation where you focus on some of these key aspects that have taken your career in this direction. Talk a little bit about that before we get into what it is that you're doing now here in the United States.
Well, we established the foundation, and we are analyzing now the Azerbaijani recent attacks of Azerbaijan, the occupation and invasion of the Armenian territory, especially provinces Syunik, Vayazor, and Gegharkunik. And we are analyzing war crimes that have been committed by Azerbaijani military forces under the sponsorship of Azerbaijani authorities. And we are preparing now grounds for the international criminal prosecution of authorities of Azerbaijan and their military.
So right now you're gathering all the evidence, and then what will you do with all of that evidence?
All the atrocities and torture that took place, almost all of them are filmed by Azerbaijani military. And we have also confessions of Azerbaijani military in those videos. Now we're translating them from Azerbaijani language into both Russian and English languages. We are analyzing them, creating links which exist between these crimes and the policies of Azerbaijani authority. So to show to the world that these are war crimes and these are the results of the genocidal policy. And we will present this evidence properly verified to not only international human rights organizations, but we will prepare them for international criminal prosecution. Because I think that Armenia must ratify or must at least recognize the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court, and which will have preventive effect for the war crimes that unfortunately Armenia is facing and being under attack of ongoing attack from the side of Azerbaijan. These war crimes are very realistic, and we need to use all means to prevent these war crimes.
Evidence have you gathered? You obviously had a lot to work with from 2 years ago, but just recently you're adding to your file.
Yes, well, you're right. We have been doing this for years, and we did it during the April War of 2016. We did it during 44-day war, and we did it during the war of September 13-15 this year, which took place like a couple of weeks ago, no, a week ago, I'm sorry. And unfortunately this time, well, both after immediately I have to start from the 44-day war. Immediately after the war of 2020, this is the 44-day war, Azerbaijani military in May 2021 invaded the territory of Armenia in 3 places. In Syunik, Gegharkunik provinces, and they occupied territories of Armenia through war crimes, through torture, massive torture, severity, and cruelties. They have military, and apart from this, they appeared in the direct vicinity of Armenian villages and on the roads in the Syunik province. And they have already their illegal locations in these occupied territories of the Republic of Armenia. And during this very last war of 2022, September 13-15, Azerbaijani military was shooting towards the Armenian communities, was shelling Armenian communities from places where they invaded Armenia, where their criminal or illegal locations are. And these are the occupied territories of Armenia. And these are clear attacks against the sovereignty of Armenia, of the state of Armenia, based on the fake so-called grounds that Azerbaijan has been all the time developing. And of course, international lie that they are trying to spread all over the world, given so-called grounds for them to protect themselves, which is a total lie, and their own purpose is the Armenian sovereignty and the state of Armenia.
How realistic is it that Azerbaijan would have to face and answer to these acts against humanity in the end? Aside from collecting all of this evidence and presenting all of this evidence on a bigger scale, what will realistically come of it all?
Well, you know that I have to say that Armenia currently is facing real existential threat. This is a very real threat, and Azerbaijani policies have been only intensified after the war, and they are just now implementing these policies. According to these policies, some part of Armenia is located on so-called ancient Azerbaijani lands, and they have the purpose to return these territories. We are talking about Syunik province of Armenia, we are talking about Vayotzor province of Armenia, we are talking about Gegharkunik province of Armenia. And the experience shows that for them, it doesn't matter. The means that they're using are acceptable. Every means is acceptable for them just to reach their goal. This is done through war crimes. This is done through attacking sovereignty of Armenia, through terrorizing the population of Armenia. But they take all the measures to reach these goals. Moreover, very recently, they even started to spread all over the world that Armenia is created on these ancient lands. And they on September 21, in an interview, the president of Azerbaijan even said that they will return Syunik, not only even speaking about Artsakh, but also Syunik. And apparently, this was done after occupation, after they occupied certain parts of our country in Syunik, Vayotzor, and Gegharkunik.
On a human level, you obviously read and visually see lots of disturbing footage. How does this affect you, and how does it fuel you to continue your mission?
Well, unfortunately, this time, only within 2 days, we had tens of cases of torture, even more, I would say, cases of torture, mutilation, inhuman treatment, and almost every case is filmed by Azerbaijani soldiers on purpose to spread into the Armenian society or the platforms and to terrorize our public and to spread it also inside the Azerbaijani society to receive glorification. But it inspires us to work more, and it pushes us, it forces us to work more to document all of these crimes for their prevention. Because without taking preventive measures, without verifying this evidence, it will be this, they will more easily reach their goals. And their goal is very simple: to attack, to destroy Armenia, and not only just this is a matter of territory, but the entire population of Armenia through this means. But we have to show to the world what is happening in reality, because on the ground, because Azerbaijan is taking all measures to try to convince the entire world that they are so peaceful and they are so white, so that they want peace, but Armenia wants only war. I have to tell you, for us, peace is an absolute value. That is why we are showing to the world that it is all the way around, that Azerbaijan is using peace, so-called, from their angle, to present, but in the reality, this is a clear lie. Of course, we watch these videos even 40, 50 times, because we have to describe them in details. And if your format allows, I can even describe one horrific case of torture of a female Armenian serviceman, or probably you could see. And at the end, they even wrote the name of their special forces, Yashma, on the tortured naked body of a female serviceman, Armenian female serviceman. And everything is the same. When we compare these three main wars, April War of 2016, the 2020 war, the 44-day war, and the recent war, the line is the same: attacks, destruction of civilian communities, torture, mutilation, humiliation, then filming and spreading everything. And in parallel, they continue their deepening their hatred policy towards Armenians.
Thank you for your time and your work. And what you do is very, very difficult. But serving as a former human rights defender of Armenia, that is obviously fueling your passion to continue to keep going. So thank you.
Thank you very much.